Hey guys, what's up? So, today we're going to do a little book haul. It's going to be like a Christmas book haul. I'm going to feature the books that I got for Christmas, as well as mostly the books that I got for myself. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. Okay guys, so we're going to start with the books that I was gifted for Christmas. It's not that much. I didn't ask for much. I asked for like 3 books. I know some people... Sorry, I have the hiccups. I know some people on BookTube, or just like in life, you know, ask for like a lot of books. I only wanted like 3 books. And I got them. So, we're going to start off with the first one. This one actually wasn't on my list. This is a book that my partner got for me, just like because he thought I would enjoy it. It's called Pillage by Obert Skye. This is a novel about dragons, and it has like some personal meaning to him. I'm not going to go in depth about it, but basically he thought I would enjoy it, and I cannot wait to read this. Honestly, I think it's like a kid's book, like a children's book, but children's books are awesome, so like I can't wait to read this book about dragons. Next, we have a manga that I asked for. I really want to start this series, and I couldn't find it at my library. Turns out it's because it's so popular, everybody like has it on hold at the library, so that's why it's never on the shelves. But it's Chainsaw Man. So I got volume 1, and then I read this like yesterday, and I checked online to see if like Barnes & Noble had volume 2 or volume 3 or both in store. They do not, and they're back ordered online, so I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to just wait for them through the library, and that is that. Next, I got Normal People by Sally Rooney. I love this book. Truthfully, I lent this book to a friend of mine, but she thought that I bought it for her. So that's awkward. I just never asked for it back. I was like, girl, obviously it means a lot to you, so like you can keep it. So I asked for another copy. It's fine. But I love this book. I read this back in 2020, and I still think about it to this day. So if that doesn't tell you anything, go pick this book up. Sally Rooney is the queen. I have her other book, where is it? Beautiful People, Where Are You? It's on the shelf back there, like right there. And I cannot wait to read that. I'll let you know what I think of it once I read it. And lastly, for the books that I was gifted, we have The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I'm so excited to read this book. I've heard so many good things about it, but I've also heard some people say that they didn't like it. So I'm interested to see what I think of it. It sounds right up my alley, to be honest. So I'm so down for this ride. I put the audiobook on hold through my library. It's going to be another 14 weeks. So that puts us into like, let me do my math real quick, like March, I would say, because there's like about 4 or 5 weeks in a month. So that puts us into like end of March, maybe early April. So that's probably when I'm going to be picking this book up, even though I want to devour this book right now. But I'm going to wait for the audiobook because I love listening to the audiobook while reading the physical copy. That is my favorite thing to do. Now on to the books that I purchased myself. Some of these books were because I couldn't help myself, and some of these books were also because Barnes & Noble was having a 50% off hardcovers sale. So, you know, I had to jump up on that. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. The first book that I have to share with you is Pages & Co. The Book Wanderers by Anna James. This is about an 11-year-old girl named Tilly Pages, and she discovers that she can like kind of pop into books, which I think is so cool. This is a series, but I believe only the first book is out in this series right now. So I can't wait to read this book. The next book I have to share with you is a book I'm so excited to read, and it's also a gorgeous copy of it, to be honest. Like, if you know me, I love paperbacks. So hardbacks, it takes a lot for me to buy a hardback. And I know that there are like beautiful copies of this book in hardback, but this one is gorgeous in itself in a paperback. Anyways, on to the book. It's Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I'm sure you guys have heard of this. It's been all over Book Talk and BookTube, and it's like a BookTube darling. It also was turned into a Netflix TV show, as you can see by this unremovable sticker. It's not a sticker, it's just like on the cover. I hate when they do that. Anyways, I can't wait to read this. I've heard that people enjoy Six of Crows, that duology, better than this. But I'm still excited to read Shadow and Bone. So here's to starting a fantasy series. If you know me, I don't normally start fantasy series. It takes a lot for me to start a fantasy series. But anyways, that's that book. Next, we have Payback's a Witch by, what is her name? Lana Harper. Now, I have seen this book on Book Talk and also on BookTube, the communities that I am a part of because I love reading. But anyways, I've heard that this is a cute little witchy romance. Like, a lot of people have been talking about the X-Hex, but I've heard from some of my faves on YouTube that this is better than the X-Hex. So that's why I got this one and not the X-Hex, because I want a good book. Another one that we have is How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days by K.M. Jackson. Now this one I purely picked up on a whim because it was in the buy one get one 50% off bundle or whatever stacks of books that they have at Barnes & Noble. And this is, I believe it's a romance. And that is that. I'm excited to read this book. I don't normally do this where I just pick up a book off a whim. I normally will see a book that I've been eyeing for a while and I'm like, oh, you're on sale? But I decided to pick this one up. Next is a book that this one I got maybe like a couple months ago, but I'm going to include it in this haul anyways. This is Things We Don't See by Savannah Brown. This I pre-ordered because I love Savannah Brown's writing. I have The Truth About Keeping Secrets by Savannah Brown over on my shelves over there, and I read that, loved it, so I decided to pick up her next novel, because she does have poetry books, but this is her next full-length novel that she published this year. Not this year, it's 2022. She published this in 2021. So I'm excited to read this. Another book that I picked up because I was very interested in this one. The author really intrigues me. I read one of his books recently in October, November-ish, and I loved it. So I picked this one up. This is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendricks. Now, this is about some girl's best friend's exorcism. Plain and simple. And I just love the vibe of this cover. It's like a VHS tape. And I was hoping for more mixed media in this, but it looks like just a normal novel. It just looks really cool on the outside. And lastly in this pile of books that I have is Lore Limpets by Rachel Smythe or Smith. I'm not sure. But this has everyone in a chokehold, basically. This was published on Webtoons originally, and now they are developing it into an actual graphic novel. So I picked up volume 1 because I believe this is the only volume that's out right now in novel form. So I can't wait to read this. On to the next stack. I have 2 more mangas to share with you that I picked up on my own volition. I have Parasite by Hitoshi Iwaki. I hope I pronounced that right. This is an interesting one. So it is developed into an anime, and my partner and I actually started watching the anime months and months ago, maybe at like the beginning of 2021. But we got to one episode and it was kind of weird, so we were like, let's just kind of put it down. But I'm thinking about it recently and I'm like, no, I kind of want to read it. So I picked up the book. This is volume 1 and it's a thick one. It's thicker than most mangas, honestly. Most mangas are like around the 200 page mark, and this one, let's see, this one's closer to 300 pages, but I'm excited to read it nonetheless. Next we have another manga. This is the last manga I have to share with you. This is Rent a Girlfriend by Reiji Miyajima. I have heard good things about this one, so I decided to pick it up. When I went to Barnes & Noble for the 50% off hardcover sale, right? I went into the manga section because I was like, I want to pick up some mangas that I've heard about, but like haven't watched the anime or read, right? Almost all of the ones that I looked at didn't have volume 1, which is obviously where I need to start if I've never read it or never watched it before. So this was one of the only ones that had volume 1, but I'm still very interested in this one. So I picked it up. Now into the hardcovers. My camera shut off, so I'm not sure where it cut me off. But I have 3 hardcovers because all the hardcovers that I went into the store to get weren't available in hardcover, and that's why I went there, to get the 50% off hardcovers. But these are still ones that I was definitely interested in. They just weren't at like the very top of my list. So the first one is The Project by Courtney Summers. I love this cover. I don't know why. It just is so beautiful to me, and I love the red. And let's see. Oh, it says You've Been Chosen on it. Oh, and it says There Is No Flaw in You. Oh, this is so cool. This is about a girl who gets wrapped up in a cult, and that's all I needed to know. Honestly, that's all I needed to know. So I'm excited to get to this one. This next one is actually one that wasn't on my list. I just looked at like the new release section in Barnes & Noble, and I was looking for like just one more book to pick up. So I chose this one. It's called I Love You, But I've Chosen Darkness by Claire V. Watkins. It's about a woman suffering through postpartum depression, and amongst other things, like a lot of things happen. She gets confronted by like her past, and I mostly picked it up because the cover. Do you see this? If you know me, I love plants. So this plant on fire, very intriguing, and also just like the gradient and the colors are gorgeous. So I'm very intrigued to read this one. And last but not least, I have a book that I actually started reading like yesterday. This is The Inheritance of Orcidia Divina by Zoraida Cordova. Sorry that my Spanish is terrible. But this is about Orcidia Divina, who summons her family to her estate to read her inheritance, I guess, or to receive their inheritance. And plot twist, it's not really a plot twist. She's still alive. So they're like, girl, why did you call us here? But I've heard such good things about it, and so far I'm really liking it. So that is the last book I have to share with you. I'm stacking these books up, so we'll see how well I can carry them. I'm honestly scared. Oh gosh, this is terrible. Okay, that's enough. Okay guys, so this is my huge book haul that I have to share with you. Oh my gosh. All the books are like trying to fall right now. There we go. Got all of them in frame. No. There we go. Just cut it in half. And you can see in the corner right there, like just a little bit. Let me see if I can hide it. There we go. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and leave any comments down below about what books you might have gotten for the holiday season, if you bought any books recently, and also what books you're planning on reading in the near future. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.